Good evening and salutations, everybody. Well, all my stuff just went off. Anyways, so I just put some of the kiddos to bed. One refuses to sleep, but he should knock out here in a little bit. And yeah, I just wanted to jump on here. I know I had a scope going on Periscope where I was talking about a few things that some people may have found interesting. Ben, what's up, Ben? What's going on? Um, and so I thought, you know what? Like, I would bring that over here to YouTube and also just. My kids pulled up, so I had to get them out of the car. They were at their grandma's. The work situation is actually working out pretty good. I mean, other than the fact that, I get home about 9 o'clock p.m. my time, and my kids get here a little bit after, so I don't really get to see my family a lot. Yo, Oscar, what's up? Abington, Bronx, what's going on, man? So, just kind of wanted to share. I mean, I was gonna do like a vlog of a day in the work, but trying to film at work and there's so much rules and stuff that I have to abide by, and so I wasn't able to get footage being at work. I mean, one, we can't take phones on the call floor whatsoever. So yeah, you just can't have phones on there, and then in some places that, oh, I'm so sorry. Let me lower the. There we go. Yo, what's up? So yeah, other places where I could possibly film, some people were just like mad sketchy about it. So, for respect for them, I didn't put the vlog together. So I just thought, some people ask, how's my job? What do I do? Some things about it. So I'll be open about what I do. If you don't know, I work for Sprint Retention. That is a challenge in itself, right? First of all, the name Sprint, and then the word retention. If you don't know what retention means, basically, when you call in to say you have a Sprint account and you want to cancel and pour it out somewhere else, I'm the person that you get on the phone that has the authority to cancel a line. Grant, what's going on? So, anyways, for the past 3 weeks, I've been going through some extensive training. Do I make bank? Well, yeah, you make money working. If you're asking if I get paid a lot of money, that just depends. There's a lot of bonuses and things like that you get, and it's a fairly simple job, really is. I mean, at the end of the day, the only skill you need is to know how to talk to people. That's it, just talking. Because everything else is provided for you. All of Sprint information and everything is provided for you at a click of a button to search. So you don't really have to know Sprint inside and out. You just have to know how to find things. And yeah, it's absolutely crazy how things have been the last 3 weeks. I'm kind of seeing how things are. Some people just don't really understand the blessings that they have being given the opportunity to work for a company such as that and to do what you do. And all you really do is you talk with customers. You try to please them to make them more happier. And if they're hell-bent on leaving, well, then you have no choice but to cancel, right? At the end of the day. But things that's pretty cool about the job is Sundays, the pay is like, I'd say like a quarter of the amount of my regular hourly pay. Oh, appreciate it, Abington. Appreciate it. So yeah, you get an incentive for showing up on Sundays. As we work Sundays through Thursday with Friday and Saturday off, so that's pretty cool. On top of that, if your call times is good, if your retention rate is good, you can make up to a $1,700 bonus a month just for having good scoring on your calls. And then on top of that, if you show up every day to work and you punch in and out on time, you can get up to a bonus of $300. Technically, every month, if you pretty much nail it, like not absolutely perfect but near perfect, you can bonus up $2,000 just doing those things, and that's really the aspect of your job. So I guess the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because a lot of people really don't think when they call into customer care, customer support, exactly what the person on the phone goes through, opportunities that they have, and just like how their day-to-day life is. I mean, And I'm guilty of it too because I've done it before, but we kind of forget that we're talking to an actual human on the other line and not technically talking to Sprint or T-Mobile or AT&T or Verizon themselves. So, I gotta say that I'm very blessed to have this opportunity, and I take every day as, you know, something that is something that I should earn and that I'm not deserved of, So, anyways, yeah, work is good, basically. So people wonder if I can share things about what goes on with Sprint, and I really don't know exactly how much to the extent that I can share with everybody out there. I can share things that I'm pretty sure you guys are able to find out online itself. Like earlier on the Periscope, I mentioned about Virgin Mobile actually going through a name change here once Sprint figures out exactly how they're gonna modify and make it a disruptive brand as they say it's going to be. And Virgin Mobile is going to become Virgin Wireless. Another thing is that I remember a few months ago I talked about how Sprint was going to focus on prepaid this year for 2017. So that meant that Boost and Virgin Wireless are actually going to be the focus point. And now I found out what that focus point is. And before they used to make a big old deal about people basically wanting to cancel their Sprint account and try to migrate over to the prepaids. They used to frown upon that. And back then they used to rely on 2-year contracts that you were contracted by time and not by device. So that is like one of the beautiful things about how not just Sprint but T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon do that. Unfortunately, we don't always get customer service that are knowledgeable. Most can't even speak English correctly. Very frustrating. Yeah, I'll get into that too because that's actually an interesting thing that you brought that up, Abington. Very interesting. But where was I going with it? But anyways, yeah. So they used to complain about that, or they used to make a big deal because, 2-year contracts back then totally sucked, right? And the option now to do 24-month installments on devices. Now your commitment is to hardware and not time. So because of that very reason, I guess that's what Sprint was saying, that they were going to push their prepaids more, is because now when you're on postpaid, even though like Sprint has the unlimited freedom plan and it's like $50 a month, you still have other fees that's tacked on with that. You got a surcharge that's tacked on, your state tax that's tacked on. What was it, like a government tax that's also put on there? You have the that little tax that goes for those government free phones. I think it's like $7.99 or $9.99 if you have postpaid. You see on your bill. Mr. AIM, right? What's up? So you have all these taxes that's on postpaid, and on top of that, if you were like on an 18-month lease with Sprint and you reach the end of your 18 months and you don't come in to upgrade to a newer device, then say you had like the LG G6 and it was like $31 a month on a lease, an 18-month lease. If you don't come in and upgrade and no one, you don't check to see if you're upgrade eligible, then they tack on an additional $10 because leasing a phone technically means that you don't actually own it. You basically are just renting it, which is a good fit for some people who always want to have the latest phone, because after 18 months of payments, you can upgrade. Yeah, you telling me that last time, remember? That's why I charge $70 for taxes. Okay. So because of that, some people don't want to be on postpaid anymore. Now, the interesting thing is that you can migrate your line now with ease. You can migrate it over to Boost Mobile, Sprint Prepaid, or Virgin Wireless. You can do either one of them. And it's fairly simple because now Sprint kind of got the idea that even if you went to Boost Mobile, Virgin Wireless, or Sprint Prepaid, they're not losing a customer because they're still under the Sprint umbrella. They're just not a postpaid account, which is no big deal because mostly the way postpaid is now is almost very similar to prepaid, right? Unlimited data for $50 on the unlimited freedom plan with Sprint, and you got Boost Mobile's $50 unlimited plan. They're pretty much the same. Difference is that with the Boost Mobile plan, you're paying for the plan and you're paying the taxes on it. And the taxes are a little bit different because you don't have the additional government taxes, surcharges, freaking, FCC charges, or whatever else that they want to add in. None of that applies on prepaid. You just pay for the plan price and the taxes that goes with it. So, Art Dog, what's up? So, With that being said, that is what Sprint is talking about, like focusing on their prepaid brand. Besides, what they did with Boost Mobile in the last like 5 months of like changing the price plans and bringing out that 4 lines for $100, which Sprint has a similar thing where it's like if you do 4 lines, they're $30 for each line. I mean, you start off with 1 line, it's 50, 2 lines is 40, and then like up to 4 lines is like 30. So you have that option, which is almost similar to what you get with Boost Mobile. Difference is that you don't have the additional taxes. So it's really good to see that Sprint is loosening up their grip on things. There's still, I know rumors are floating around about a possible merger with T-Mobile, but directly from Sprint, there's not anything really being talked about being merged with T-Mobile. So I don't know. Maybe there might be a little light at the end of the tunnel for like an additional year to see how Sprint goes. And if it absolutely fails, then SoftBank will probably sell Sprint to like T-Mobile and have them merge. But on top of migrating over to prepaid, what's also pretty cool is like, say you have like a LG G5, right? And you've had it for like 18 months already, and you're on a 24-month installment plan, which is to own the device after you pay 24 months of payments, and you paid off your G5. You actually can take that to Boost Mobile. So now the list of like devices that can go across to Boost Mobile is actually starting to open up more. Happy you seem to be enjoying the new gig. Yeah, some people still give me some crap about it. They're like, "Oh, Sprint sucks." Da da da. Yeah, I know they're not the greatest. But just being able to talk with people and learn about different users of different devices, and at the same time just be able to help people out there, because there's some things that that of course I would know about because I dabble in the world of mobile technology that maybe some some agents don't know about because they're at this 9 to 5 job with me, right? For instance, like people who call in, they want a refund because their kid made a bunch of purchases for like Pokemon Go or whatever, right? And then you can actually teach them about setting Google Play Store to have where it requires a password all the time when you purchase something. That way their kids can't make purchases, and then the customer is like happy because they know that one, you actually genuinely cared about their problem, you helped resolve their problem, and they learned something cool in the process. And I think for me that's very filling in my life. I think that was like the key missing thing for me, and where I kind of felt I was kind of hard on myself for a long time. I was like, I felt like something was missing in my life. And so, not trying to sound like a weird ass commercial, about finding all this stuff, it really is fulfilling for me. All the Spectrum T-Mobile just won in the auction. They better not be fooling around with this man. Well, obviously, the deal's on the table. So regardless of all the spectrum that they won, if T-Mobile finds it viable to purchase Sprint from SoftBank and let SoftBank basically take a minority, then that's what's going to happen. Doing something you're passionate about and enjoy is important. Yeah, just like what I do here on YouTube in the last video that I made. And, some people kind of hit me on Twitter like, was I bullshitting them or not about what I said about the whole YouTube ad boycott? I'm not bullshitting anybody. I really don't give a fuck about the money. Making money on YouTube is not my priority. My priority is just making videos on YouTube. To getting paid to do that is kind of a bonus. But if they took it away from me, I'm still here. Not going anywhere. I have my other places where I make videos and I do live streams. Like I live stream on Periscope. I like the Periscope platform. This doesn't mean that I like it better than YouTube. I just like using it. Just like I like going live on YouTube. For putting up videos, I like putting up videos on YouTube, and I also like uploading them to VidMe. So I have my different places that I like to do things, and they're all places I go to, not because they bring some sort of income or money or source or whatever. It's because I get to make videos, which is what I like to do. And I get to broadcast and stream, which is what I like to do. Same with the job. I like dealing with mobile tech, and I get to do that. We're doing good on strong signal. Some cities, I watch live tech. Well, see, it's funny you mentioned that, Oscar, because like the pitch, and I don't want to sound like a freaking Sprint fanboy when I say this, because I'm actually not like gung-ho about Sprint. I like working for them. I like the job, but I still am in that realm of trying, well, not trying, but just being unbiased about things. And I still strongly believe that the best carrier and service provider is the one that gives you the best service signal in your area. So it's not going to be predominantly one carrier, but the whole pitch with Sprint about that 1% difference between them and Verizon is turning out to become that what it is, 1% difference. And when I'm talking about 1% difference is network connectivity, network coverage, and network speeds is starting to become 1%. I will not say that Sprint is exactly to the T 1% difference from Verizon, but they're climbing that ladder and they are right there. The only difference between Verizon and Sprint is price plan options and whatnot. And I think, obviously we all know that Verizon's feeling the pinch. Everyone I talk to says Sprint has great coverage where they live. Yeah. And it's getting better and better, like every week, as they build out their network. It's not like there's a ton of cash in YouTube unless you have millions of subs. Everyone else is doing it for love. Exactly, Grant. You said it perfectly. But so Sprint is climbing that ladder, becoming a 1% difference, and when the little slogan of what is the difference of 1%? There's a huge difference of 1% between Sprint and Verizon. I'm not talking about network connectivity, but I'm talking about price plan and how much a plan costs. Plus, they have Verizon. Yeah, I think that's still funny when I go to work and I see the little cardboard cutout. And all I can think of was like when I used to work for Verizon, I used to see the same cardboard cutout, but with him in a Verizon jacket saying, "Can you hear me now?" Now he's talking about 1%. And it really is that. There really is that difference between Verizon and them. And Verizon got shooken up because for a long time, Verizon stood fast about not offering unlimited data. And what was it, like a month and a half ago, they released their unlimited data plan. So it goes to show that, their competition on CDMA side, Sprint, is catching up to them and catching up quickly. Which is good news for those people that find Sprint to be a reliable service provider in their area. Because you would want to be able to have great network speeds. You would want to be able to test out downloading and uploading and get like close to 100 megabits per second download and like 40 megabits per second upload. Those are pretty decent speeds. You're not going to get like home Wi-Fi type speeds, or until 5G comes out with that whole, 1 gig down, 1 gig up. The current speeds right now is actually pretty good. Sprint fills some the T-Mobile coverage gaps here. Project Fi sounds nice because of that. Yeah. And it's so funny listening to the training about how we deal with a customer that wants to cancel their Sprint service because they want to switch to Project Fi, because Project Fi is recognized by Sprint as great competition. And it really is, because you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting Sprint, you're getting T-Mobile. And while that does kind of sound idiotic, because they're like, if Project Fi is one of Sprint's heavy competitors, then why do they allow Project Fi to piggyback? Well, of course, like anything in life, it's all about money, right? If you pay, you got to pay to play, right? And if you have the money to play, money to pay, you have the money, you have the time to play, basically. So, obviously, right? No, who's going to turn down, from a corporate structured standpoint, who's going to turn down an offer from Google to be able to piggyback on Sprint's network? So, anyways. Sprint will loosen their business practices. Just feels. Well, a lot of things is still being shaken up with Sprint. I can tell you guys that much right now. They give too much money away by living in the past. Actually, right now they're not really giving anybody away. I think it was like earlier this week. We were dealing with like credits, like credit back and stuff like that, and a lot of things is pretty tightened up. As far as what we give credit for, so they're not really handing out anything anymore. And they are fighting for every subscriber. I mean, like one of the things that we are really told repetitively is to not have the candid robotic type of dealing with a customer over the phone. Like first of all, we don't even really think of them as customers, right? They're people. And they stress a lot of empathy. They and they don't want you to have a robotic empathy statement when you speak with the person over the phone. They want you to have a real live experience with them. So they're really, really, really hammering it down on like establishing a consultative tone, um, probing questions, and all those types of things. They really want us to nail in. And above all, everything, they they really want us to have that empathy. They really want us to be human in the call. That's Sprint's new goal right now. So there's a lot of things that's being changed up because I remember how Sprint used to handle things before, and their statements were so candid, it was so scripted, it was so robotic. You had that person who was like, "Thank you for calling Sprint. My name is blah blah blah. How can I help you?" And you would tell them like, "I want to cancel my phone." Like, "Okay, I'll get your phone line canceled for you today. Why do you want to leave?" Like it was just so robotic right now. Like one of the things that they told us that we'll get dinged on for quality is that they want us to do what's called the shock and awe. And it's like if the person wants to cancel their line, you have that statement back like, "Oh no, you want to cancel with us?" Like you gotta have that shock and awe, like it caught you off guard that they want to cancel, and the reason why is just they want you to bring the experience to a human level, and that's I'm hoping that other companies like T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T are training their call centers to do the same thing. Because honestly, and I've witnessed it, but when an agent on the phone is more human with a person, you get a better call flow, and you get and it's just a greater experience, customer service experience, than having that same candid statements over and over again. So that's kind of crazy. Was over the phone. I used to be like, "Don't patronize me." Yeah, and that is the thing that is being really watched out for. Because they try to tell you like don't try to overthink the customer. Choose your words wisely. And above all things, like retention department gets yelled at a lot. I already knew that when I took the job and when I was offered the job and when I accepted the job. It was going to be a really hard job. It's not going to be really easy because the people I get have been transferred like 4 or 5 times before they got to me, and they're ready to cancel. So, already they're going to be screaming at me and stuff. So I'm like ready for it. Fortunately, I won't be able to share any of those stories with you guys because that's going to be confidentiality. I really can't be. I mean, I could probably tell you like how bad the call was, but I couldn't like go into details. But enough about that. So. Tomorrow I'm heading to Best Buy. I'm really excited for that. Kind of tired right now. Like my whole week has just been like absolutely crazy. But I'm kind of happy. So tomorrow I'm going to go to Best Buy. I do plan to, the guy, our facilitator for our training class, he's a really cool guy. So I was going to get him a gift. And it was kind of messed up because he had just got word that he might be going somewhere on a business trip. So I don't know if he's leaving this Sunday or not. Blue Vivo 5 Mini. You know what? That's not a bad idea to actually pick that up. Though considering that, there's a lot of things I got to take care of. So I'm not going to be able to play around with, paycheck because I got lots of bills to catch up on. But even just getting that phone just to, play around with. I mean, it would just be kind of weird to see how it goes because most devices today, you normally run LTE, and this one is 3G only. So to just I don't know, pop a SIM card in there and see if it'll work. I might just buy it and put one of my Freedom Pop SIM cards in there with the free plan and see how well it does. That's why it's always dangerous. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. But I'm gonna go there tomorrow. Also, the next 3 days is gonna be a really good day for me. Hey Tito, can you explain a little bit about T-Mobile 600 MHz spectrum? Actually, I really haven't read up into T-Mobile's 600 megahertz spectrum. So I don't know exactly what that signal does. This is I don't think Sprint has the 600 megahertz signal. Sprint only has the 800, the 1900, and the 2.5. So what I know from the 800 megahertz for Sprint is that signal is good for structure penetration, basically. So if you're in a building like Walmart or whatever, that's how Sprint customers are still able to get their signal, is because the 800 megahertz signal actually is good for penetrating buildings. The 1900 I believe is good for a broad distance, and then the 2.5 is good for speed. So that's what the carrier aggregation is binding those three signals together on a device that can utilize all three. So the 600 megahertz, I'll probably research that to see, because I'm gonna have to know what that is. Customers will challenge me when they're like, I want to cancel, I'm going to go to T-Mobile. And if that's one of their statements is like, oh, well, my buddy told me that T-Mobile's got this better signal service or whatever. Like, I got to know what that 600 megahertz is in order to be able to combat it with what Sprint has that could be a better fit option or not. The R1 HD. Yeah, I don't know. Going to Best Buy and then trying to limit my spending is going to be a challenge. R1 HD is way better, same price, but the Vivo is fun for troll. Yeah. I think it will be fun. I don't know if I got the Vivo 5 Mini, it's gonna be something just like a toy. It's like a smartphone toy, just something cool to look at. And I don't know. And if I throw my Freedom Pop SIM card in there, it'll actually work anyways because of the fact that it's the free plan on Freedom Pop, so it only gives me 500 megabytes of data. So I wouldn't really need blazing fast LTE speed. So even 3G would work fine with that phone, just to be a little burner phone to have. So I may actually get that phone just for the hell of it. I wanted to get the Moto G5 Plus, but I'm not gonna have enough after I pay off what I need to pay off. So, and life and bills comes first before toys and fun. So, but hopefully. 2 weeks from tomorrow, today, Friday, depending on where you're at in the world, I'll be able to do a Moto G5 Plus unboxing. Well, I do intend to get that phone. So I don't know, I may just grab the Vivo 5 Mini just for shits and giggles and to have fun with, laugh around with, and just generally just play around with it. Yep, priorities. Yeah, priorities is a major thing. I did state that I wanted to kind of stray away from just only doing mobile technology, but I wanted to bring more things, and I think it's just because of the fact that I'm not wanting to buy a lot of things to do an unboxing, and I really don't want my channel to be known for that anymore. I want to venture off into other things, but I still am going to do tech videos. I think some people got the wrong impression thinking that I'm just completely dropping out of mobile technology, and that's furthest from it. I just wanted to implement other things in, that would be catchy or whatever. Just whatever, movies and things like that. Which reminds me, so I gotta get my boss a gift, and I'm probably gonna go to a place called Zia Records because he's a big fan of Stephen King's It. I know he's excited for the reboots. I kind of am curious about the reboot. I don't know. I see a price increase from T-Mobile with all that spectrum. Good to hear. Yeah. I don't know. Have you guys seen the new trailer to Stephen King's It? I mean, just the other, was it last week? We were talking about it in class, and it made me want to come home and find the movie and put it on and watch it. So you better go, grandfather. You're gonna plan right now. Grandfather me into a plan right now. Why? Why would I need to be grandfathered? I mean, this phone here is on AT&T. This phone over here is on T-Mobile. I don't have Boost or Sprint or anything like that anymore. Yeah, so but yeah, Stephen King's It. I'm kind of oh, that was meant for Art Dog. Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you meant that to me. I was like, I don't have that anymore. But yeah, anyways, I'm looking forward to Stephen King's It. When I think of Pennywise, Tim Curry is always going to be synonymous with Pennywise. Tim Curry played it. As a matter of fact, I was trying to find a gift for my boss, and I was like, I wanted to see if they had one of those Funko Pop Pennywise bobbleheads, and for one that's autographed by Tim Curry, is going for $400. Do I like the Stylo 3? I haven't used it, so I can't tell you. I haven't bought the Stylo 3. I have no reason to buy the Stylo 3 right now because I don't have Boost Mobile anymore to use with it. No, I'm good right now. Boost Mobile finally came through. Cool. You know what? And that's awesome. That's awesome that Boost came through. I like hearing that. Not just for Boost, but for anybody. Someone that found great network connectivity on Metro, PCS, or Cricket, or whatever. That's the stuff that makes me happy. When you guys are happy, It just feels good because it's like you guys have found something that works great for you, you know. And people will then tend to kind of bicker here and there about, well, Cricket works great, because it's working great for them. That's cool, right? But at the end of the day, when you guys find something that works for you, that's just what makes me happy. So. But I'll tell you one thing though, like my class is pretty wild. We tend to get off topic a lot, and my boss kind of gets pissed off. Well, he doesn't get pissed off at me, but he just always gives me crap because I'm always joking around that I'm gonna do something. Like we got login codes for the phones, and I told him, like, just hypothetically speaking, what would happen if I was like learning how to log into the phone line, and I accidentally put myself in call available, and I got dinged, and a customer was on the call, and he was like, well, then you're gonna take that call. So when we got to the floor to make sure that our lines were working and we were logging into the phones, and I looked at him he was like giving me all these codes, auxiliary 1 this, auxiliary 2 that, and I was looking at him, I was like, so which one's call available? And he popped me in the back of the head because I just kept, like, all day I just kept messing with him like I was going to take a call, even though, like, I'm not really clear to start taking calls yet. I told him I was going to take one just for the hell of it, but yeah. I was trying to see if they would actually let me because this is not my first time in a call center in that type of environment. So I've done it before. Like I said, for those who follow me for a long time, you guys know that I used to work as customer care for Verizon Wireless. I need to start. Hey, bro, I'm happy I have it. Well, I mean, that's subjective, man. If that's what you want to try, then that's up to you. But yeah, I love giving people crap, just kind of messing around with them, just trying to make training fun or everything like that, so it's not just like the repetitive regurgitation thing, And that's the cool thing about my boss right now, is that he's not into that whole thing of just like, he's not trying to sound like the Clear Eyes guy, like Sprint Network is awesome. Wow. Yeah, he's not trying to do shit like that, Like he makes things fun. I mean, he tries to get people to be proactive in what they're doing and be involved and stuff. So it's really, really cool stuff, man. Plus, with the company, they have like rapid growth, which is something I'm like absolutely taking very serious. Yeah, it does. It does smell better than regular cigarettes, but the company has rapid growth, and I do want to become a trainer. So in order for me to do that, I have to do like 6 months. 6 months on the floor as a call agent, and when there's an opening in training, I can move over and become a trainer. If I want to become a team lead, I can move over into that. If I want to become a trainer that travels, because they do have call centers in the Philippines. Several people that's in my training class came back from the Philippines from training people out there. And they had a good time, and they were talking all about it. How the company paid for their flight there, paid for room and board, gave them money to spend out there, and they still earned a paycheck while they were out there. So it was crazy. Wow. Almost feels like there was like hair like in front of, not my hair, but like someone else's hair in front of my face. So I'm sorry. Do I watch Samurai Jack? I haven't seen that in a long time. Oh, that was so totally random. But I haven't seen that in a while. So. But yeah, that's like my future plans with this place is to either become, a master trainer is or master facilitator is what they like to be called, because they don't like using the word training because the new recruits coming in are not dogs. So they're known as facilitators, and I want to join that department. So in order for me to do that, I have to like do really good on the floor for 6 months. So, and that's pretty fast, because some places like some places promote within, but sometimes it takes years before you can get a promotion. This one's gonna take me a matter of months. So that's insane, and I'm kind of cool about that. So anyways, in the world of mobile technology, what's new with everybody else? That's good to learn new skills. Yeah. Learning is always fun. I think that's like one of the things I like about life. Learning new things. And you're never too old to learn something new, so. But yeah, so how do you guys feel about Virgin Mobile possibly becoming Virgin Wireless? Thanks, Paul. I really appreciate that. Does it sound better? Would you? I mean, like, does Virgin Mobile sound as a better brand name, or do you think Virgin Wireless will be actually cool? Like, you guys, let me know. Just type in which one do you think is better, Virgin Mobile USA or Virgin Wireless? Because I was shocked. I was like trying to scratch. I mean, I knew when I first saw it, it's reference to Virgin Mobile, but they're already starting to call it Virgin Wireless, and I'm like, kind of crazy. You hope they go away. You haven't heard that yet? Yeah, that's because it's an inside thing. But that is what they are looking to call Virgin Mobile after they've rebranded it. Good idea, but I don't know. Virgin Mobile sounds better. Okay. I was just curious because like I was like going through some of the stuff through Sprint. And then I was like Virgin Wireless, and then I read more into it. I'm like, okay. So not only are they trying to rebrand Virgin Mobile as a disruptive brand to go up against other prepaid carriers, but they're also changing the name of the brand to Virgin Wireless, which was kind of like, wow. You know, but who knows? Maybe they may not change it. You know, because these are things that are not set in stone. These are things that we have access to read that we would need a heads up on. Do away with the Virgin. I think they should just change the name Virgin Mobile in general into something more exciting. Yeah, I mean, well, if they owned the company, like 100% own the company, it wouldn't be a big issue. I remember, I don't know if you guys remember when I talked about it when I first started, when I first got the job and I started talking about it, and I learned that Sprint owns like 80% of Boost Mobile, and it's the same for Virgin Mobile. So, I mean, while Sprint does have ruling control over what Boost Mobile and Virgin Mobile does, they don't 100% wholeheartedly own the company. That's kind of crazy, right? So, and it's kind of cool because, if Sprint was such tyrants, they would have done everything their way and not included, the owners of Boost Mobile and the owners of Virgin Mobile. But in this case, they are, even though they own majority of the company itself. So that's actually a cool thing. I like companies that are not super greedy. They're not like tyrants or freaking dictators. That they work within in harmony to have, a better growth process for the business. I think that's where businesses excel and succeed in life. I was at Sprint today and got to play with the SA. Oh my gosh, someone else. Yeah, man, I couldn't tell you like how bad it was for pre-orders. Just walking across the floor trying to go to my break, and I hear agents on the phone talking, and like every one of them was talking about pre-orders of the S8 and people trying to get the S8. It was crazy. You have a question? What's the question? Let me turn this a little bit. Like, sure, I'm waiting for your question. Like, what is your question? Oscar, what's your question? Probably typing it out, so I'm sorry. I'm not trying to rush you. No worries, no rush. Why Virgin and Boost Mobile not together? Because they're not 100% owned by Sprint. Like, if Sprint 100% owned Boost Mobile and Virgin Mobile, then yeah, I'm pretty sure they would have like pushed both of them into Sprint prepaid completely, and then Boost and Virgin would have been gone. But like I said, like Sprint owns majority of both companies, but they don't own 100% of it. And the way that they're running these companies, they're not running it in a dictatorship form, but they're like working in harmony with Boost Mobile to come up with a good game plan to keep them relevant, which sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But I will tell you this: we do have like kind of like what's called a suggestion box, and because of some of the stuff that you guys have told me over the last like 6 months or so, I did put in that Boost Mobile has a good plan with the unlimited data plan, but they need better phones, and these things actually reach their way up to the CEO. So hopefully, other agents such as myself had made this same statement too, and in that way, they'll look into getting more devices, more options for consumers to go look at and make a purchase, because I mean, I do agree with a lot of you who have said it that they don't have enough or they don't have a good selection of devices. Well, right now they are, and that's what I was saying. Like what they plan to do with Virgin Wireless is to make it a disruptor brand. So when they say disruptor, it's going to kind of like their idea is that it's going to change the way we look at prepaid. However, Sprint has known to think that they're doing something good and has fucked up at the end. So this will be something interesting to see. Like, what do they consider as disruptive? Because a lot of prepaids have already gone the unlimited data route, and even right now, when you look at them, such as Metro PCS, you have unlimited data plans, and you have unlimited data plans with hotspot, and so these are things that's already being out there. So I'm curious to see like what the Sprint think is going to be considered disruptive. Never understood why T-Mobile and Metro PCS have different prices. Mainly because, and this also kind of ties back into postpaid carriers. It's more profitable for them to have you on a postpaid account than it would be on prepaid. Because like I said, like with Boost Mobile, when you get the $50 unlimited data plan, you're paying $50 plus tax. So like tax in my state and everything, I'd end up paying like $58 a total. That's taxes included. Whereas if I went with like Sprint's Unlimited Freedom $50 plan, you would pay $50 for that. If you lease a phone, let's say around $10, that's $10 on top. That's $60 right there. State tax would bring it up to like 70. You have government, federal taxes, which would probably bring it up to like 72, $73. And then the freaking surcharge thing will bring it up to like $79. You're almost paying $80. You're almost paying $30 in taxes on postpaid. And so it's more profitable for them anyways, because some people wonder about, well, why do I have to pay government tax? Well, technically, and this is not just Sprint, this is every carrier. This is AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile. But the reason why that they charge you a government tax is because they cover the tax that the government charges the company. And so to make that money back for what they're paying in taxes to the U.S. government, they're taxing you for it. So really, that's where the taxes are going to. Just starts getting too expensive with postpaid. Exactly. And however, that's why I say it's cool in the fact that Sprint is loosening their grip. And if you call in to cancel, be like, yeah, I want to cancel my line with Sprint. I found a better option, and they're gonna give you that little statement like, why do you want to leave Sprint for, and this and that, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go to Boost Mobile. Or even you could just like say you did go to Boost Mobile, like, yeah, I bought a phone yesterday at Boost Mobile and got inactivated. What's cool about it is that not only will they cancel your postpaid line, but they'll ask you if you want to migrate your postpaid phone number to your Boost Mobile account, and then basically like porting. So then your new phone number you got with Boost Mobile will be deactivated in a way, because your postpaid number is going to get migrated to your Boost Mobile account. So they really loosen up their grip. That is one of the things that we're told with customer retention, is that if there's by no way they want to stay with postpaid, offer prepaid. And if they will take Boost Mobile or Virgin Wireless, then migrate them over. So yeah, Sprint has loosened their grips up about their prepaid, but I do know that they would want them to go postpaid. Other question, sure, shoot. I don't think I'm giving away too much valuable information, because there's more things that's like really neat about Sprint that I obviously can't talk about, because that's just how confidentiality is. So I don't know. But, if you have Sprint and you cancel, you'll know it's me, because, I don't know if you'll know it's me, but if you're wondering, yeah, I'll be using my nickname Tito, because I'm allowed to, but if I use that name, that's the name I gotta stick with as long as I'm working with them. These are good things, really great to hear. Oh, yeah. It is. I wish we handled other carriers too, because then I'd be able to like talk about T-Mobile and stuff. Why Boost Mobile never wants to give you an account? Having in 2011, trying to switch to Cricket. It's not really that Boost Mobile doesn't want you to get the account. It's how the agent handles things, because there's agents that have balance. Like they're not just going to give you your account right away. They're going to want to know the reason why you're wanting to port out your number to another carrier. because if there's something they can offer you to keep you as a customer, they're going to offer it. That is one of the things of our jobs is we offer things. I mean, you can call and say that you don't have the greatest reception in the world. We can freaking fix that issue for you by figuring out determine what the issue is with your device and why you're not getting signal in your home. And then if it's in your home and there's really nothing that we can do except set you up on Wi-Fi calling to help you out in your house. Wi-Fi calling is not something that you would say, is the greatest relief ever. By recommending a customer to connect to their home Wi-Fi, they can do Wi-Fi calling through their mobile device. So then we'll do something like, we'll look at the fact of how long you've been with Sprint. So if you've been with Sprint for like 10 years, we'll acknowledge the fact that you've had, your tenure, that you've been 10 years loyal to Sprint, and that counts for something. And they'll probably offer you something like, also, you could upgrade right now if you want to and get an LG G6 at half price. I mean, these are things that they will do. So, and it's this new thing that Sprint is trying to do because of the loss of customers that they've had over the years. So they gotta make them back. So things like that. So like going back to Boost Mobile, you have reps that are balanced in that sense that if they finally get it through their heads that you don't want to be with them anymore, they will give you the account numbers. But then you've got reps who are told like, try to retain them from canceling, try to stop them from canceling, and they will literally take that to the point where they will literally fight with you over this conversation over your account number. So that's the thing that's like, it just depends on the person. And also something that was mentioned earlier about having people with like a lot of people used to assume that you get a customer care rep from India because of the thick accent. And it's actually some companies still outsource, but a lot of like Sprint, Boost Mobile, Virginmobile, and even like Cricket, and also we were told T-Mobile as well, their call centers are in country. But the reason why you get someone with a thick accent is because we have a lot of people coming to the U.S. from other countries, and these are some of the jobs that they apply for because they were doing it in their other country. Like if you figured 10 people who worked at call centers in India moved to the United States, they're going to apply for call center jobs here, and they're going to get them because they know their stuff. Do I think Sprint will ever start allowing more locked phones? That depends if they switch it up and actually start going with GSM. Because that is like one of the major setbacks for Sprint is the fact that they still use CDMA. And CDMA doesn't really, CDMA is not good for unlocked devices because unlocked devices are GSM built. What's up, bro? Why did I leave Boost Mobile? I've already talked about that in a previous past stream. If you want, you can check it out. Just go through my video list. It's not that long ago. It was like a month ago that I spoke about it, and you'll get the full answers right there. T-Mobile usually has great customer service, and they're quick too. Yeah. You know what? And the whole thing about quick, it's all about the person that you're with on the phone, because you can have an agent that just doesn't know where things are, and the call can take like 10, 15, 20 minutes for something so simple. And then you got people that are trained so good that they can get to the root issue that you're calling in for in under 5 minutes. So it's not really so much of like they're quick. It's just you got a very good and knowledgeable rep if that's from personal experience. Now, if you're talking about from someone else's experience, then that's why their experience was quick, was because they got a knowledgeable rep. But sometimes it's not always about being knowledgeable too, because I'm not going to bullshit anyone. There are reps on the floor who give you wrong info, and not intentionally wrong info, but like maybe you're calling about network issues and they troubleshooted it and they went with the first option of what they think is wrong with your phone when it's totally not that. But they give you that, and then they disposition to call and get you off the phone because they want to get to lunch or they want to get to their break. They need that cigarette smoke, and so they pretty much half-ass the job. So it also depends. Quickness does not also mean, quality. Verizon is reported to close. Yeah, they're going to close their CDMA and they're going to go full GSM. By 2019, basically their EVDO signal is getting turned off. So AT&T gets poor customer service. Yeah, it depends. It also depends on the call center that you're going to. I mean, there are multiple call centers that handle Sprint retention. So where I work at is not the only one. There's one, I think, in Oregon. There's one in North Carolina. So it just depends on what call center you go to. Because believe it or not, these are outsourced places. So while I work on the Sprint contract, I'm not directly employed by Sprint. So that's some truth there. I think it depends on the person answering. Yeah, exactly. What up with Style 3? I don't know. I haven't used it. But you can always go to like Best Buy and play with it if it's on display. With Verizon, you have to play the button. Oh yeah, the IVR. Um, it's like one of the things too that they also talk about is educating customers on self-service options. And then, I don't know for like Verizon or them or whatnot. I know with Sprint that they're trying to really push that now. So they want people to be they want their consumers to be more self-reliant. So like if you want to look at a bill, why waste your time calling in talking to me about your bill that you just want to know about when you can just go to like the Sprint Zone app or like how Boost Mobile has Boost Zone. You can look at those to look at your bill. But what's also cool about the Sprint Zone app is that like say like you're in an area that's like a dead zone, right? Through the Sprint Zone app, you can actually submit what's called a pinpoint ticket, which what it does is that you choose that area on the map. You put down that you're not getting any network connectivity or like your 4G drops to 3G right here, and that actually gets submitted as a trouble ticket for Sprint technicians, who then can go out there and make the necessary upgrade to the towers in those areas to bring in, was it the LTE Plus that Sprint has now? They'll be able to upgrade those towers. So that's actually something that's really cool, and you don't have to call in the customer service to report, hey, on the cross streets of this street and this street is a dead zone. Like, you don't have to now call in. You can just do it from your Sprint Zone app. That's something that's actually pretty cool. Like, self-service options is something that Sprint is really trying to push now too. They just want their customers to be more self-reliant for the things that's easy to take care of, and then let the customer care reps deal with all the heavy stuff like troubleshooting signal connectivity issues or no voice or SMS issues, like things that you wouldn't be able to obviously fix at home. They want you to call in for that. But I don't know, just check coverage and things like that. They want them to be self-sufficient on that, and I think that's something that's really cool. So you don't want to like have to go through the whole IVR, which is that whole system of like press 1 for billing, press 2 for activation, press 3. You don't want to deal with punching all those numbers just to get a rep and say, hey, how much is my bill this month? Like, you don't want to do that. Who wants to spend 5 minutes on an IVR just to go do that, right? So when you have a lot of self-service options, it's hell of a lot better. Plus, to deal with a rep on things like that, some customers just don't want to. The only thing that really they don't want you to do is to be like self-reliant on canceling your account. That's the one thing they don't want. You imagine them coming up with like that in the Sprint Zone app? Like, if you'd like to cancel your line, press the cancellation button. I live in El Paso, Texas. We almost border to New Mexico. We get poor signal. Okay. I will look in that area and actually see what kind of coverage they have, which is cool because I'll be able to do that. So. And I don't go back to work until Sunday. So maybe Sunday night I'll stream, and if you join it, I'll let you know what I find. And I'll let you know if they have any plans to upgrade the towers in those areas, because we do get to actually look at all the Sprint towers, and we can see like a list of when they've been upgraded and stuff like that. The last known upgrade and what were the upgrades for. If the upgrades brought in 800 megahertz signal, or if it brought up like all 3 signals, and if it's, carrier aggregated supported. I mean, there's just so much things you can do. Like, I really dig this job. This job is fucking awesome. The things that I'm able to do with it. So, yeah. And since, a lot of you guys have subscribed because of my coverage on Boost Mobile stuff, it'd just be so cool to still continue to give you guys some sort of support about Boost Mobile and Sprint. Isn't 2 bars generally decent? 2 bars is generally decent. It is. But some places, you should experience something higher, because I know Sprint is playing catch up. They're trying to catch up to, Verizon and T-Mobile, as far as the LTE network build out. So they got a lot of catch up to do. But the thing is that they're making up good time. It's A lot of towers in my city have already been upgraded to LTE plus, so that's something that's really cool. Fortunately, I don't use Boost Mobile anymore, so I can't tell you guys the speeds. You know, it's a cool thing that you say that, depending on how far you are from the tower, because actually it's better for you to be further from a tower than close. After learning how the towers work, like, say this bottle is a tower, right? Okay, the further you are away, the better you have a line of sight connectivity to the tower. But when you're sitting close to that tower, the network is going over you. Also, it depends on how the tower is positioned, because there's some towers where, like, you would think a tower is broadcasting signal in a radius, where technically, because there's nothing on the back end of that tower, they may have all the signal focused east or focused northwest or something, because that's where people are. So, in layman's terms, you know, the further away from the tower you are, the better your signal should be. Also, I think like Sprint does this thing now where they have like a direct beam. So besides getting like the radius and the and like a broad radius coverage, they also have like a direct. I don't want to say beam because it sounds like phasers, but it is in a way kind of like that. It shoots a direct strong signal in a certain direction where it's been known that population is bigger in those areas, and so that way you would get faster speeds as well. So just think about like having like a circle with a bunch of lines shooting out of it. That's kind of like how Sprint towers actually beam their LTE signal now. So kind of cool. And that's what it's called, beam. It is beaming a signal to you. Like, beam me up, Scotty. So, I mean, it's really cool to be able to share all this stuff with you guys. I also had a hard time with Sprint in my area. Yeah, well, just give me the general area of where you're at, and I will go looking up. I'll look it up and see, like, what kind of coverage it has out there for the network, and if what towers are going to be upgraded. I mean, I'm not going to be telling you like tower serial number this getting an upgrade, and you're going to know exactly where that's at. But I mean, if it's within that vicinity of where you're at, I can tell you if like several, like 2, 3, 4, or 5 of the towers in that area is getting upgraded next month. I'll be able to tell you that. That's not. I don't think that's giving away like classified information. These are things that people call in, and the care rep will tell them over the phone. What is Sprint's strongest band? I know right now that they're really like, I don't know, some of you guys might laugh, but they're really happy with their 800 megahertz signal. I forgot what band that one is. I think that would be band 41 if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, their 800 megahertz signal is the one they're happy with, because that was one of Sprint's biggest problems, was like they can get you signal anywhere outside, but then they couldn't get signal into like a Walmart very good, but now they can. So, I mean, if you have Boost Mobile, you're not really missing anything. One thing I will tell you, and generally for sure, is that there's not a big significant difference between postpaid Sprint service and Boost Mobile service. They are nearly identical as far as like network speeds you would get. So, yeah. But anyways, it was pretty cool hanging out with you guys. I'm really beat. I'm tired, and I got a lot of things to do tomorrow. And I'm gonna take you guys with me on these things because I will stream at different places. So, I just want to say thanks for hanging out with me. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate it. You guys should get some rest if you guys are, on the East Coast side. I know it's pretty late, so yeah, need some sleep. I need some sleep, and yeah, when I find out new things that I know I'm allowed to share with you guys, just know that I will share it with you guys. So if it's like new price plans, new things that Sprint's going to be doing, if you guys are interested, I will be sharing some info. I know they're not pretty strict about those kind of things. So, oh, thanks, Oscar. I really appreciate that. That is cool. That's cool. Thank you so much. Art Dog. Appreciate you coming in. Grant, thanks for coming in. Shout out to Paul Tech for coming in. Abington Bronx. Ben Sun, thanks for coming in. I'm just gonna call you Shush. I know your username is something different, but I'm just gonna call you Shush. But thanks for coming in. All of you guys, thank you guys for coming in. I really appreciate that. So with that, mahalo, and good night. Much blessings to all of you guys. All right, I will. Thanks, Grant. Appreciate it. By the way, I just found out that Grant is from Hawaii too. I didn't know that, so I kind of feel weird, but yeah. So my references, you know where they come from. You know what mahalo means. You know what. Of course, you know everyone knows what aloha. Well, some people know what aloha means, in one way, but they don't know what it means in all ways. Okay, so I'm going to bed. Good night.